Good morning, good morning. We are back in the house and we are checking on how the flooring has turned out. We've let everything dry over the weekend. And Ferg's been up here kicking away the plastic footers and spacers, the self-levelers. Crazy to be able to walk around in here with the new flooring. That feels very good. We're gonna collect all these and reuse them as we continue the rest of the full tiles into that room. So we finished laying the rest of the full-size tiles in the main bedroom, and we're moving into the second bedroom and fitting all the edges around here, all the pieces that need to be cut. For dry fit these two, you're gonna hear him grinding away at the next fit, which is quite a challenging piece. And I am gonna be working on the far edge over on that side with our grandiose 1 meter, 3 foot cutter here. It's pretty freaking sweet. You just make a rip and then a click and it busts them exactly how you want. Shoot. See, I definitely didn't do that very clean.
Little longer than a few minutes later.
I want to show you guys how amazing this looks. And see right there, we got all these cuts right along there. But if I said that was easy, I'd totally be pulling your leg because I snapped so many tiles. Look at these angles on them. I was proper frustrated, but this machine takes a proper just knack to be able to get down the touch, to be able to make the groove and perforation, to be able to snap the tile. Something that Ferg has a talent for that I need a lot more practice, but I'm actually really proud of myself for getting these couple ones in here. A lot more to come. We were saying this is probably the most complicated room because of these little finicky cuts and the scribing that Ferg's doing right now. And once we get into the other room, there'll be a lot more big cuts. Let me show you what he's up to over here. He had to go with a straight line cut there to scribing it along this rock wall here. And since we're not going with any skirting, it really is important how accurate and precise these cuts are to keep it clean and looking nice. All the detail comes in making the measurements for the cut that you have to make and making it as accurate as possible so that way you know exactly the shape you're going for. Round 2. I'm gonna really make sure this one scores good. Dude, not the easiest. Getting a little bit dark out and it's still raining. Wish me luck. It's pretty smooth. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I did today. Ferg did plenty of the ones over on that side. What I have learned is that your name must be Tyler if you're gonna be a Tyler, and I'm a Drew. Dad jokes right there. All I gotta say is it's definitely a little more tricky than I anticipated, but I can see how you can get a knack for this craft because it definitely takes some experience, so there's little tricks of the trade. I gotta practice more, certainly, especially when you're scoring the tiles on this contraption back here. This thing just takes experience and knowing how hard and how much pressure to give it. I know I'm gonna sleep well tonight, and I'll probably be dreaming about cutting tiles. Good night, guys. All right, we got 8 more tiles to get finished in this room, and we'll be onto the hallway. Let's get cracking. Trying to work hard to keep symmetrical and 2mm gap all the way around this piece. I just want to take a second and say, if you guys aren't subscribed to our channel, please take a second, subscribe. It means the world to Brittany and I. It uplifts our spirits when our channel grows, when it thrives, when we see our videos performing well. It also encourages us to do the best job we can with our videos and make the best quality content possible. So if you could do that really quick for us, that would mean the world. Thank you guys. And one thing I want to point out is how uneven our watermill walls actually are. Between this tile and this tile took 2 hours. But you can see there how nice it looks around the edge and base of this wall.
Here we see the nice neat cuts.
In this rare clip, Ferg, our carpenter turned Tyler, actually grabbed the camera to show which actually very complicated cuts he made to our tiles versus the ones that Drew made.
The ones I did.
But to be fair, he did give Drew some kudos as to his new and improving tile cutting skills. Neither one of them are named Tyler, so remember that. But maybe if your name's Ferg, you're a master of all talents.
He's got a little way to go yet, hasn't he?
Again, this wall is not straight here. It comes in this angle and then all of a sudden turns. So just measuring those out to cut them, it's really taking a lot of meticulous time. A lot of times they just slap it together, put skirting on, leave big gaps, throw it up. But we care so much about how this building turns out. You see, we've poured our energy, our hearts, our money into this project, and we want it to be the best it can be. So that's why we've had some of the best tradesmen here helping us along the way and doing the best job we can. Makes me happy, and I know that every time, every night, every day we're spending in here in the future, I'll just be that much happier that we made these decisions, took the time to do a quality job.
Along with making progress on our future home every single day, whether it's in big ways or small ways, something else that I have really committed myself to is a skincare routine. Whether I'm eating collagen with my homemade grass-fed beef jello, or I'm doing lymphatic drainage massages, another one of my very favorite ways to take care of my skin is with the Foreo FAQ 202, which is the new generation of LED face masks. I know that you've heard me speak so highly of this before, but truly it is so easy and convenient, And the benefits for the skin, whether it's elasticity or making my pores smaller, truly, ever since starting to use Foreo products, my skin has never looked better. I love to use it 3 to 5 times per week for 5 to 15 minutes each. But this mask has 8 different wavelengths, including NIR, which is near infrared light. It heals the skin using cellular technology to cleanse and repair tissue. It stimulates elastin and collagen, and it accelerates recovery by promoting healing in the muscles and skin. Whatever it is that you have to address so that your skin can look better than ever, the FAQ 202 really works magic. The other Foreo device that I absolutely have been loving is the Bear 2. Now this is a magical, non-invasive facial toning device. It uses advanced microcurrents and T-sonic pulsation to lift, tone, and contour 69 muscles in your face and neck. Now my right eyelid, which has nearly my whole life been really droopy, is a lot more even with my other eyelid. I also had melasma, as many of you know, but I am so grateful for Foreo for partnering with us on this episode, creating these incredible tools. And right now, in honor of Women's Day, they are having some incredible offers for you. And if you use our code, you will get an additional 30% off. This is also stackable on top of sale items, and this code applies to nearly all Foreo products. So be sure to click on our link below, whether you're looking to treat yourself or keep a woman that you love feeling radiant. Foreo products really are top of the notch. All right, now back inside of the mill where the real big transformations, that heavy lifting kind of stuff, is happening.
Okay, the laser's set back out. You can see we've got it marked right there on the wall, which is really helping us keep the line straight from the tiles to where we're measuring for the exact distance on the cuts being made. Ferg was down there cutting this piece right now. It goes from a straight little bit to the curve for the rounded room of the turret here in the master bedroom. It's quite a tricky and challenging feat to keep it steady all the way around, but with practice, you get so much better. You can see right here, we're doing the same thing, making a mark on the wall, allows us to measure the distance of the tile. Same with that cut. We made a spot there with the laser, helps us measure out the distance that this tile needs to be cut right here. We were just saying, being hands-on with this project really shows you how much work goes into laying it right, the way you plan to lay out the grid across the rooms, measuring all the lines, and trying to keep the floor as one unit definitely added to the level of expertise and complexity for doing this job across these 2 rooms up here. And then we gotta check the pattern after we make the measurements to make sure that we're not repeating the exact same tile back to back or in the near proximity. What's the trick with the 2x4s?
Because I'm a carpenter, I have to use some wood.
You just want to have wood in whatever project you're doing?
Wood, even if I'm working with tiles.
That's an acceptable answer.
I have to use wood. So that's the idea, basically.
So you're saying you prefer tiling? Just kidding.
No, so basically because we've got these packers.
So it elevates
I can't
it.
sit it flat because of those.
Yeah.
So we put these here, I can raise it up. And I can get it.
Just helps you to be able to check it.
Yeah, so I've got my rough cut and then I've been able to scribe it to the wall.
Okay. Using your scribing tool.
Using a scribing tool.
Nice.
It's just a little bit tight here. I have to take a little.
Just a smidge. Yeah, it's not easy to keep this continuous curve going across multiple tiles here. And talk about complexity and trickiness, you can imagine what this cut's gonna be about. We're gonna have to cut out the door frame right there. This is gonna be a really tricky one. We already set this for 1 full tile, so that's gonna be 1 tile wrapping around this piece right here. How you do this and how you plan out the lines of the room really makes a difference in how much you're gonna be cutting around the perimeter of the room. Everybody give Ferg a like in the comments. He crushed that piece.
And here was another piece he was about to crush. Notice in the top right-hand corner as he fits the tile just right. Not shown us the amount of times that he had to go back down the stairs and grind out a little tiny bit here and there. But here you can see as he stands back to enjoy his incredible work. I guess carpentry transfers to tile work quite well.
We just took a little break for lunch and had a conversation about the idea that we would finish the second bedroom and glue everything down. That way we're at different points for grouting. If we can continue and finish one bedroom, then it gives 2 days for the glue underneath the tiles to completely dry and allow us to come at the end of the week and put the grout in and then let it dry over the weekend. Then we can be all in this room. Whereas if we continue doing all the dry cuts, we'll be everything at the same level, and then we'll have to wait and stop and won't be able to go in certain rooms. So strategic executive decision is to put down all of these tiles in here. All right, big moment. Last tile in this room going down.
And so, as for continued gluing down the last tiles in bedroom number 2, Drew continued cutting the tiles for our bedroom, the one that we call the master bedroom, so that all of the cuts could be ready for gluing the next day.
Precision is the name of the game here. Just the slightest margin of cuts really makes a difference in how the tile fits in with the wall. In this project, every millimeter counts. Alright, that's a better fit. Like when things line up so nice. I love how it ends right in the corner of this entire room. We couldn't have planned that so well. Right from the door, all the way over.
What made tiling the upstairs a lot more complicated and time-consuming is the fact that we wanted all of the tiles to flow from the one that was laid square at the top of the stairs. So right on the landing, we wanted a nice straight square at the top, and then from there, all of the tiles to flow into the bedrooms, meaning no threshold at each doorway, which then would create an easy square pattern in each bedroom. We just wanted it to feel like an expansive flow without any separations to the bedrooms.
It's kind of like croquet.
Yeah!
Goal!
I did score!
Except what happens when the other team throws them back?
Oh, there's a lot right here.
In the editing of this footage, I was curious where this complicated tile cut was supposed to fit. So I went inside, only to discover that there were 2 like this. It's like cutting the pieces to your very own giant puzzle.
We just had a big win, followed by a big meh. And what I mean by that is we just finished cutting all of the tiles for the entire space up here, which felt like a big W. And I'm working on getting some of the pieces, little self-leveler tabs, back in line, and I popped up one of the tiles. One of the main ones as soon as you come up the stairs. This big tile right here. And this is what I'm left with. Big bed of hard glue that has to be chiseled up, all because I was working on trying to get out the base to replace that piece right there. One of those things that you feel like you're stepping forward and then gotta take a step backwards. I'm gonna get this cleaned up and then we'll be onwards and upwards. Also, doing better with those. My worry is taking those 2 out now.
Yeah. Just grind the top of it off, don't worry about taking it all off.
Okay.
And then you just put another thin bed on that.
Okay. Alright, I got that all cleaned up. We've actually been using this polishing disc to clean up some of the high spots that we had done from when we patched the floors and reinforced them with mesh. And Brittany just walked up here to see what's going on.
What happened here?
I know. Wah, wah, wah. I popped up a tile as I was trying to get the self-levelers around it, so I had to grind out all of the glue.
Oh.
No.
Well, sometimes
we make more work for ourselves, but
We do, but you're here to the rescue.
let's make it better. I made your lunch.
Oh, lunch is always
Yeah.
a motivator. Thank you.
Maybe you need a break. And we're back. It's after lunch. I got my grouting gloves on and I was just warming my fingers by the fire and just really feeling all of the feels of being in such a big and beautiful space and feeling the anticipation of living inside of here, like really overflowing from my soul. I feel so cooped up. I know Drew does too, but like we are really feeling cooped up, especially with this wet winter inside of that camper. And like, I'm so grateful that we're getting that much closer. Like we're actually nearly there. At least, you know, functionality wise, there's still a lot of things to do. But after we get this grouting done, we could be living up there. But I think the cats are gonna be royally confused. That might make us hesitate to live inside until it makes sense for the cats to call me crazy cat lady, but there's nothing like your kitties sleeping and warming your toes at night and like waking up and they're still there and then they crawl on your chest and they're just the cutest thing. So we sleep better when they're around, even though sleeping in here will be better than sleeping in the camper. But anywho, enough chatting. Let's get our grouting on. We got our tools, got our sponges. Where's the grout?
We did a little sample test last night, and that's still upstairs. We mix a part A with a B, that's the hardener, and then we push it in those cracks.
Did you explain it's a epoxy grout?
Yeah, we're using epoxy grout, which is much different than cementitious grout, which is very common that most people use. But this will resist the stains better, last for a really long time, and we're excited to be using something that traditionally here in Portugal they use for pools and water applications in bathrooms.
Yeah.
But I think this will be a really
Smart.
good choice rather than taking the traditional grout and putting a sealer on it that has to be reapplied over time. I just hope it comes off clean. The sample we did last night worked out really well, but it has like almost like a residue that it leaves. So like as we wipe, we'll have to have a lot of clean water around.
Let's get to it.
Let's do it. Did you learn about epoxy grout?
Yeah.
What did he have to
He said steer clear from it.
Really?
Yeah.
He doesn't like that.
He said it's a thick leg too.
I don't know if you heard that, but Ferg has been talking with his friend who is a tiler, and he said not to do the epoxy grout. So stay tuned. So here is where we grouted last night. What I love is that it's invisible. Like if we had chosen a darker grout, you would still see all of the separations. This is, I think, what makes it epoxy.
Yeah, that's the hardener.
And then here is the grout. We're just gonna do part of it again. Maybe a quarter of it.
Glob out of here. We don't want it to set and dry up too fast on us.
I mean, last night it was pretty easy to clean off, but
We'll see. We only did such a small amount.
I
What do you
know.
think? Do you think that's
that's a third.
a third?
Yeah.
Looks like enchilada sauce.
Or caramel on top of ice cream. Well, it said beige, but it definitely looks white.
I don't know. Let's see.
This fact here was precisely the cause of our future grout woes. And oh boy, were there woes.
You know what I've been recognizing with what we're doing? We've done like the hardest room, hardest design, craziest cuts, and now we're using the most complex product available for tiling grouting.
I know.
Go big or go home.
And then on top of that, we've decided to vertically tile our 3 meter high, or how many meters high is the turret?
4 meters.
4 meter high bathroom.
The center might even be 5 meters.
They don't call us Mr. and Mrs. Adventure for nothing. From my understanding, we have to work pretty quickly with cleaning this up after. So we're going to be working in each section by section, completely grouting and cleaning and finishing it off. Again, we should high five.
Yeah.
Ding! Shout out to Rolling Dog for our tools here, but all right, so how much do I want?
Just a little bit on that tip end. Make
Is
sure you
that a
don't
little
drip your
bit?
fingers in there.
And then
Yeah.
these gloves. Just like that.
Yeah.
And now I just smear it.
Yep, smear it.
Smear it like a bagel.
Yeah, just like push it down in, kind of. Keep it as close to the line as possible.
I could see where it feels gummy. We're practicing where the closet will be.
Nobody will see where our mistakes are. Gotta start somewhere.
This whole little back tile piece is just covered. I'm gonna start sponging off the excess. And just as we thought that things were going swimmingly well, we had the hang of things. Ferg even showed us this new rubber smearing tool. That next day, which you will see in our next episode, everything changed. I think this is our biggest dilemma to date. It's too much to have to explain in this episode, so sorry guys, we're gonna have to leave you with a good old cliffhanger. But have no fear, there's always a solution. Although it came with a bit more woes. But that's how things go when you're doing your first time renovation ever. And on that note, what do you say? Let's take in a deep breath. And let it out. Now it's time to let your adventure continue. And this episode's adventure will continue next week, so make sure that you're subscribed. And if you're looking for another Mr. and Mrs. Adventure episode to enjoy, if you missed our 3-year time lapse, it is worth the watch. Whether you've seen all of our episodes or you're a first timer here, we promise you will love it. And we love you guys. All right, we'll see you back here soon. Beijinhos, kisses.